The United Way of the Adirondack region has kicked off its yearly fundraising campaign. The United Way CEO John Bernardi says inflation is driving up the cost of living and that people will be struggling to pay for their food, heat, medicine, and rent heading into the winter. The annual drive hopes to raise $650,000 in donations to help the United Way and its 35 partner agencies assist those in need.
And we get hundreds of emails a week, and we get dozens of phone calls every single day. And I remind my staff, no matter if it's the 20th phone call that day or the first one, the person on the other end of that line, no matter the emails we get and the calls we get, it's the most important thing in their lives at that moment. And we should always remember that. And that's what makes the United Way and its 35 different partner agencies so incredible, because they never forget that. They never forget the human side behind what we're doing.
At the United Way, we live our mission. Every single one of us, all of our volunteers, all of our full-time employees, our board, and everybody who donates to the United Way lives this mission. We are to be a leader in a community, in community partnerships, building and increasing the organized capacity of people to care for one another.
And John Bernardi joins us now, the president and CEO of the United Way of the Adirondack region. Good to see you.
Thanks, Tom. Great to be here.
At your kickoff of the annual fundraising campaign a few weeks ago, you said that the phone has been ringing off the wall.
Absolutely, Tom. The need has increased tremendously across the region. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. The need's always there. Financial instability creates a tremendous challenge for families in our region. And it's despite their efforts to work really hard, sometimes multiple jobs per household. But that gap between the federal poverty limit and what we call the ALICE threshold is significant. It's very real. And so many families in our region fall within that gap that they struggle to meet the unforeseen challenges that life brings our way from time to time.
And we've been talking about this for a number of years now, about 5 years now, the ALICE numbers, roughly 30%, maybe approaching 40% in the tri-counties. Has that changed? Are we seeing, has the number increased?
There's been a slight shift, Tom. It's pretty similar. It's nearly half of all the families in our region that are living below the ALICE threshold. I believe the number, it varies from locale to locale, but 46 to 47% of the households in our region are living below the ALICE threshold. So what that means is that in many cases families are ineligible for a variety of support programs, governmental and sometimes even nonprofit, because they're a little bit above the federal poverty limit, mainly because they're employed. But what we know is there's a huge difference between the ALICE threshold and the federal poverty limit. And the ALICE threshold is that level of income per household which would allow a family to live independently and without assistance. Not high on the hog, as they say, but just to squeak by. And there are many, many families, nearly half, in our region that fall below that threshold. So when unforeseen challenges appear to them, they are often unprepared and often devastated in some cases by trying to meet those demands.
So as you gear up for your annual fall campaign, are you anticipating you may be seeing more people looking for help?
Absolutely. We're already seeing it, and we anticipate that will continue. On the other hand, though, we're very lucky and we're very blessed in this region. We have a tremendous network of human service providers. So while we anticipate the challenges to be really tremendous this year, we're also preparing to handle it and to make sure that families are given a hand up. We don't like to think of it as a handout. It's more of a hand up.
And we heard just a few moments ago the United Way's goal for this year is to raise $650,000 locally from donations. With those funds, along with government grants and other resources you have coming in, you hope to be able to inject more than $1 million into the economy here to help families.
That's correct, Tom. Our campaign goal is $650,000. That is the minimum we're going to need in order to allocate those funds to our partner agencies to address the highest priority needs in the region.
We hear the numbers year after year, roughly 80,000 people you help in the Tri-Counties region.
Correct, 80,000. And that is a number that represents the United Way Partner Agency Network. We have 35 partner agencies across the 3 counties. So when you add up the numbers of individuals that they're serving on a yearly basis, it amounts to 80,000. Now that's not all tied to the 650,000 I just mentioned. That is a larger collective effort that our partner agencies are making.
What do you think the greatest need is going to be this winter?
Well, heating and utilities has been building for quite some time. The cost of fuel, oil, and other utilities has increased drastically. And I think that will be probably the top of the list as we move through the colder months. But we're also seeing a great need for other housing-related challenges. People are not able to find a place to live in some cases. And then in other cases, people are struggling to meet the cost of their current home, whether it be an apartment or a rental or even a home that they own. So people have, we're seeing people that have fallen behind on their taxes, and that's become a crisis. And it's not necessarily because people are ignoring their tax bill. It's usually because they have had to put their limited resources into basic needs and have not had enough to be able to keep up with their tax bill. We're seeing rents and rental assistance and security deposits and tax assistance, and those are really challenging to address. There is very limited resources available to help people with back taxes, for example, and security deposits. Those are challenging needs to address.
But you folks can do that. I think that may surprise some people that you can help in that way.
We can. Again, the demand is great, so we don't always have the resources we need for every single case. But usually what happens, Tom, and I'm really proud of this, usually what happens there is through partnerships and collaborations, we find a way, and I say we, not just United Way, but all the partners and collaborators.
For folks who would like to help out and donate, many do it right through their employers. They can do it through payroll deductions. How else can they help?
They can visit our website, unitedwayadk.org. There is a tremendous amount of information there about our partner agencies, about our ALICE project, about volunteering in the region. And in addition to that is a portal where people can support us that way if they'd like. And they can also call our office anytime at 518-563-0028. And our friendly and capable team will help people who either want to donate and support us, which we love, or people may need help and not know where to turn. And we love that too. And we would welcome those calls, and we would also encourage people to utilize the 211 information and referral system and just simply dial 211 on your telephone and get a friendly, helpful information and referral specialist.
John Bernardi, as always, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate it.